All right. Looks like we're about ready to get started. I believe everyone is, every committee member is present as well as the staff, so. Mr. Wolf with the opening remarks.
Welcome to our hybrid meeting. Participants in the room, please do not join the meeting in Zoom. Virtual participants, if you lose connection at any point during the meeting, you can reconnect by clicking the link or calling the number in your original email. Members attending virtually, if you are able, please activate your video for purposes of quorum and keep it on for the duration of the meeting. Staff, if you are able, please activate your video when you are speaking. Members of the committee, when you wish to speak, ask questions, or request a roll call vote, please push the person button on your microphone or raise your hand virtually. Those in the room will have their microphone turned on when they are recognized to speak. Those attending virtually can unmute themselves when recognized. When you're finished, all should mute themselves. Members of the public who have registered to speak, those appearing virtually, the name you entered in Zoom must match the name you entered in registration. You will remain muted until called upon. If you are here in person, when you are called to speak, approach one of the two podiums on either side of the dais, and you will be recognized. For all registrants, the clerk will tell you when your time is up. After all public speakers, a member of the body may ask you a question. If you need to share documentation with the committee, please send it to the email listed on today's agenda. Thank you. Chair, the floor is yours.
Thank you. So as always, we'll go by Robert's rules. And for applicants for new licenses, I will probably ask you a few questions, and then you'll get 3 minutes to tell us about your business, and then other members will ask you questions. And may ask questions of staff and then discuss it and take a vote. Next on our agenda is call to order. Already did that. Roll call, Mr. Wall.
Alder Glenn.
Here.
Alder Glenn is present. Mr. Barshak.
Here.
Present. Ms. Farley.
Present.
Ms. Farley is present. Alder Figueroa Cole.
Here.
Present. Ms. Clemens.
Present.
Present. Alder Verveer.
Here.
Present. Ms. Westra.
Here.
Present. Chair, we have quorum.
Thank you. Next on our agenda is approval of the minutes from February 18th. Any motion to approve those minutes?
Move approval.
Is there a second?
Second.
Moved by Westra, seconded by Figueroa Cole. Any discussion, corrections? Any objection to approval of the February 18th minutes? Seeing none. Approval of the February 25th minutes. That's from the subcommittee. Is there a motion?
Move approval.
Second.
Moved by Westra, seconded by Clemens. Any discussion, corrections? Any objection? Seeing none, the minutes are approved. Next is general public comment. Do we have anyone for that?
No, but we moved them to 14.
Okay. So next is disclosures and recusals. Does any member have a disclosure or recusal? Seeing none, next on the agenda is presentation of the consent agenda. Mr. Wall.
All right. So proposed consent agenda for ALRC meeting March 18th, 2026. Recommend to council to grant operator license application Andrea Patino. Note the ALRC operator subcommittee recommended granting. That's item 3. And item 4, change of agent for Quick Trip LLC.
Okay. Committee members, any separations? Seeing none, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda and the recommendations listed therein?
Move approval.
Moved by Westra.
Second.
Seconded by Glenn. Thank you. Any discussion? Any objection to approval? Seeing none, that motion carries. So that is, once again, if you are Andrea Patino or here for the change of agent for Quick Trip on Raymond Road, then you are welcome to stay, but you are also welcome to leave. We won't need to hear from you later. Next on the agenda is public hearing, new license. Oh, skip something. Next on the agenda is item 2, Timothy Consigny, LJ's. All right, Timothy, I think you were here last month.
Correct.
And so do the members want us to go to hear from the police captain about this item?
Well, let's just do it for a refresher.
Okay, sounds good. Captain Hartman.
All right. Just as a refresher, and I will make a note that there is no change. There's been nothing new on there. What we discussed in the past, in 2020, there was a possession of open intoxicants in a motor vehicle, and that was by the Wisconsin State Patrol with a conviction of December of 2020. Of August of 2021 was a first OWI and conviction in November of 21. There was a vehicle owner's liability hit and run that was in June of 24 with a conviction in December of 24, and a second OWI. This would have been in February of 25 with a conviction in August of 25. And if you need any further details, I do have those in front of me here. But otherwise, like I said, it's the exact same information that we've gone over in previous meetings, and there is nothing new to add.
Thank you. Any questions for Captain Hartman? Seeing none. All right, Timothy, you have 3 minutes to tell us anything you think would be helpful. Especially you can highlight the materials that you brought today and talk about rehabilitation.
So I was asked to complete a DUI class in order to get my license back, which I have completed and provided documentation. I was asked to install an ignition interlock in my car, which I have also provided documentation with. And I was asked for a letter of recommendation from my owner of my job, and I have also provided a letter of recommendation from that as well.
Thank you. And I'll just add, I'm looking right now at documents that Timothy brought in. We have the MV 3304 form indicating that he completed the traffic safety report on February 14th of this year. I have another document indicating that he had an ignition interlock device installed on his vehicle, and then a letter of recommendation from John Kavanaugh, owner of LJ's, where I won't read the whole thing, but he says that Timothy has proven himself to be a reliable and valued member of our team. I am aware that Timothy has made some mistakes, but I have witnessed firsthand is his commitment to taking responsibility and making meaningful changes in life. He has shown steady personal and professional growth. I believe he is genuinely working to better himself. So is there any member of the committee who has questions right now for the applicant? Ms. Clemens.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Mr. Consigny, for coming back. You must be very familiar with our meetings by now. A quick question. how long has the ignition device been installed on your car and how long will it remain?
So I know I get it out November 26th of this year. As far as the exact date goes, it is on that piece of paper right there. I believe it was sometime in the end of the summer of last summer. But the exact date should be on that document.
Okay. End of summer,
Of
Through.
2025.
and it will remain through November 2026?
Correct, 15 months.
Thank you. No other questions from me, Chair.
The date on the form is original install date, September 18th, 2025. Further questions? If there are no more questions, then we can move into discussion. Ms. Westra.
I was just going to move approval.
Motion to approve by Westra. Alder Glenn.
Second.
Seconds. Okay, so moved by Westra, seconded by Glenn. Any discussion on the motion? Any objection? I think I'll just say for the record, I mentioned last month that if everything that Mr. Consigny told us in his testimony last month were true and could be backed up by documentation, then that's substantial and credible evidence of rehabilitation. And as I noted previously, that the documentation is in our possession now. So with that, any objection to approving the motion? Seeing none, the motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you so
Thank you
much.
for your
I appreciate
patience.
it. Thank you.
Next on our agenda is item number 5, Madison Axe. Do we have a registrant here for that?
Yes, Brandon Long.
Hello.
Hi, Brandon.
How's it going?
Good. So first things first, did you talk to the alder, the police captain of that district, and the neighborhood?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, and we held the neighborhood information session, which we didn't actually have anybody show up, but other than Alderman Sean.
Okay, perfect. Now you have 3 minutes. Tell us, I know you've been here before, so anything to remind us about or anything else you'd like to say that would be helpful?
Yeah, well, Madison Axe is a axe throwing entertainment venue. We got 8 lanes of axe throwing. We also have area in the back indoors, but we call it the backyard. It has
Should have done
a whole bunch of different yard games and board games and all that kind of stuff. We've been open for almost 3.5 years. It would have been December 2nd, 2022. And so far with our beer license that we've had, everything has gone pretty well. Originally, when we came and opened up Madison Axe, we didn't want to push the city into, a liquor license type situation when there really wasn't any axe throwing precedent. I wanted to show that we could have success with beer, seltzers and ciders and the such, before I decided to apply for liquor, as I am today. I guess what I'm looking at is trying to stay with the times. Beer has gone down in consumption over the past few years. Kind of looking at the health side of things, which is obviously a little bit of a funny thing, but liquor has become more of a health conscious, weight conscious choice, and wine has, there's been many more things out there showing that wine is healthy for the heart and all that kind of stuff. So you're seeing a big shift and, trying to align with our audience, with our guests that come in that fact. And we are also working on a plan to expand with golf simulators later this year. I'm hoping all that kind of goes through. And with that, we become even more of an entertainment venue. We're not a bar that you come to drink at. We're a place that you come to play and you have drinks while you're doing it. Um, so and I guess one of the big things that I look at is that we are only open until midnight at the latest on the weekends, 10:30 during the week. And I guess I look at things as the old adage, nothing good happens after midnight. So I don't want to change that, and hoping that you guys look at that as a plus. So any questions? That's about all I got.
Thank you. So did I hear you right? You said that liquor is the more health conscious choice?
Wow. I I want to say health conscious, but people are realizing that the calories in beer and malt are much higher. So people, if you look at statistics, the percentage of people that consume liquor now compared to 15, 20 years ago is much higher. Same thing with wine, because people are looking at the calories side of things, and so when we get, we have corporate parties here a lot. Half of our business is corporate parties, team building, that kind of stuff. And, I see here and there where, a manager, a vice president, doesn't want to book because they are very much a liquor fan and we only have beer and seltzers and such. So, trying to appeal to the wider audience in that fact.
Thank you. Alder Figueroa Cole, I thought I saw your hand up. Are you trying to speak?
Well, I am trying to frame this question. Just wonder if the applicant will indulge my ignorance on how does the business operate, day to day, on regards to managing patrons that are intoxicated. I've been at your facility twice, I believe, and it just always it's hard for me to understand this concept of the particular sport that you guys offer there combined with alcohol in general. So how do you handle people that are, drunk and eliminate the risk of the game part being impacted?
Yeah. So how we are set up is every person that works here goes through the beverage server training, whether they're a lane coach, an axe master as we call them, or a bartender. And what we do that works very well for us is our number one goal, other than obviously safety. Safety's number one, I should say. The next most important goal is to make sure that people are having fun. And how do you make sure that people are having fun axe throwing? You make sure that they're sticking the axes in the boards. And the realistic fact is that if somebody, even one person out of a group of four, isn't sticking their axes, not having fun, that group's likely not coming back. So our lane coaches and bartenders are trained to be on the lookout and also be listening for people that are not hitting their axes, which number one makes it so that they're constantly focused on the lanes. And number two makes it so that we can see if there is anybody that is out of line. I'm not going to say we haven't had people that have been out of line. Usually it's like the boyfriend that comes in and he's trying to impress his girlfriend and he's throwing the axe really hard, and But there are definitely times where we get people that drink a little. Usually, it's they've drank too much beforehand, and when they come in, they're not quite there yet, but another drink or two tips them over the side, and we are able to see that right away. And what we do is we walk over and we give them a warning. And if we see anything else, we make sure that they are cut off from axe throwing and cut off from drinking. Um, we have a 2 drink maximum when you are throwing, which, 75 minutes, that shouldn't be more than that anyways. But that's something that we've been very vigilant about, and we have done things about with other patrons that have come in that have been a little goofy or a little bit over the top. One thing that I've noticed in the 3.5 years that we've been open is people have a healthy fear of axe throwing. So the wonderful thing there is that when you get a group in here, when there is a person that is a little bit overboard, a lot of times the group, it takes care of them before, we even have to. They, people don't come in here feeling like they can just whip axes around. They come in here 99% of the time knowing that, it could be dangerous if you don't treat it properly. And that works in our favor as well.
Thank you. And in general, over the past 2 years, have you had a percentage? Do you have a percentage of how many major incidents have you had with patrons out of line or overserved?
That percentage would be extremely small. We might have one every couple of months that we have to, and I always, it's something where it's hard to just say it, but you can tell, right? Especially after beverage server training and all that, you can just get the feeling that somebody is on the precipice of it. And my staff and I are very, very good at keeping things in line. So the percentage is very, very small. We've never had anybody hurt, knock on wood, obviously, other than a staff member that accidentally cut his hand with an axe, minor cut, and another staff member that tripped over a ledge, a little ledge. So that's all we've had. Obviously, I'm blessed. We're blessed that it's been so great. But we're looking to keep that up.
And then lastly, can you refresh my memory? I think I was there for an event. So there was like a family event. There were people of all ages there, but do you have age limits on who can be inside this facility?
Yes. Inside the facility, as of right now, as long as you have a parent or guardian, it's 18, or it's anyone below 18 can come in. 18 and up can be in without a parent or guardian. Now, do those rules change, obviously, with liquor? Possibly. Our age to throw axes is 12 and up. No matter what. So, but between 12 and 17, you have to have a parent or a guardian with you. So yeah, that is something that I have thought about moving forward. But also, like I said, we are entertainment first, so we're not getting the patrons that are just coming in, to drink for 6 hours at the bar. We have people that are coming in for a couple hours to axe throw and hopefully later this year golf at our golf simulators, and they may have a drink or two afterwards, and then they're out of here. So it's not the in-depth drinking of other places.
All right. Well, thank you for indulging my questions. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely.
All right. Alder Glenn.
Thank you, Chair. One more educational question. It says only 2% food. What is the thought behind, and what kind of food that it's 2%? And then kind of like, what's the thought behind like adding alcohol to this and not having anything of substance?
So right now it's just, like chips and stuff like that. But what I am planning, and I actually have an application in as of right now, I just have to get everything ready to be inspected, is have a food menu. Not full meals, 3-course meals or anything, but appetizers, wings, mozzarella sticks, pizzas, that sort of stuff. So yes, that will be taken care of within the next month and a half or so. But I do agree with the idea that no food and liquor is not a great mixture.
Thank you. That's fine.
What was say that again? You cut out for a second.
I said thank you. That was very helpful.
Absolutely.
I'm complete.
Are there any other questions from committee members? Any other questions? Seeing none, a motion? Alder Glenn.
Move to approve.
Second.
Moved by Glenn, seconded by, I didn't hear that. Did you hear that? Okay. So who seconded the motion? We need
Give it to Amy, that's fine.
Okay, thank you. Discussion.
Thank you.
Any discussion? All right, seeing none. Is there any objection to approval? Seeing none, that motion carries. Thank you. Next, we will skip to item 7 because there is an interpreter for that one. So come on up. This is Tacos El Arerio at... Yeah, you'll swear them in. I'll just read the address because I got an email once from a City Channel watcher who asked me to read the addresses. So it's 4222 Easttown Boulevard.
All right, and for the translator, do you swear you will translate English to Spanish and Spanish to English? Thank you.
Thank you. So, did you get a chance to speak to the alder, the police, and the neighborhood about your application? Yes. Excellent. Now, tell us a little about your business and any information you think will help us make a good decision.
Pues va a ser un restaurante familiar donde se ofrecerá variedad de comida y gastronomía a las personas en general. Y por supuesto, a las personas se les ofrecerá con bebidas como jugo, soda, aguas frescas.
Yeah, it's going to be a family restaurant with a variety of foods, and it's basically for the public in general. And the food usually will be accompanied by drinks like flavored water, soda, and this kind of thing.
Okay, thank you. Will you serve, well, in the terms of liquor and beer, what kind of offerings will you have?
Bebidas alcohólicas.
Yeah, like one general, más cerveza, más licores, margaritas.
Margaritas,
I'm trying to remember the drinks. So beer, margaritas.
That's okay. We'll see if anyone else has questions.
Micheladas.
Oh, michelada, like a prepared beer with chile and.
Any questions for the applicant? Ms. Clemens.
Thank you, Chair. A question for the applicant. I think on your application, it was blank in the section about a liquor agent completing a responsible beverage server course. Has that happened now, or will it happen by the time you open?
Ya lo tengo listo. Sí, ya lo tengo listo.
I have it ready.
Thank you. No other questions from me.
Thank you. Alder Figueroa Cole.
I just want to clarify, are you Josefina?
Sí.
Yes.
Thank you. So Josefina, are you gonna be running the business from Milwaukee, or will you have people here running the business for you?
Yo voy a correr el negocio aquí en Madison.
I'm going to be the one leading the business in Madison.
Thank you.
Did you say leading?
Leading.
Okay.
Leading.
Thank you.
Managing.
Further questions? Alder, further questions? Captain Hartman?
Yeah, Chair. In speaking with Captain Marshall of the East District, he did say that they ran into some issues in trying to communicate, likely through the language barrier. Some of the concerns that he had raised to me was the hours of operation, and if this is a restaurant, the 2 a.m. closing, and will they be serving food all the way till 2 a.m.? Sounds like there's going to be 2 entrances and exits to this place, and how those will be staffed. So his concern was just making sure that this was not going to be more of a bar/club or turn into a nightclub, just given those late hours. So I don't know if they would be able to speak to the late closing and the kind of entertainment that they might be looking to do.
Could you respond to that?
Yep. El horario del restaurante y hasta cuándo van a estar sirviendo comida.
Ok, de abrir a cerrar. Abriremos temprano desde las 10 de la mañana hasta las 2 de la mañana se servirá la comida.
Yeah, we will be opening early in the morning from 10 a.m. until 2 a.m. and we will be serving food all this time.
Thank you. Alder Figueroa Cole.
So are you planning on serving alcohol until 2 a.m.? I think that's what the captain was trying to get at. Are you planning on serving alcohol until 2 a.m.?
Sí, ese es el plan, servir alcohol hasta las 2 de la mañana.
Yes, that's the plan, serving alcohol until 2 a.m.
Have you run this type of restaurants before? Or do you hold a liquor license in Wisconsin already?
No es la primera vez que estoy aplicando para eso.
No, this is the first time I'm applying for it.
So I don't know if you understand that to run a restaurant, we don't really regulate the hours of operation, so you can close it at 2 in the morning. But will you be willing to take to reduce the hour of alcohol sales until perhaps midnight, at least for the first year or so, and then you can always come back and change that condition in the future?
Sí, lo puedo agarrar hasta las 12 de la mañana.
Sí.
So to sell alcohol, you can stay open until 2 to sell food, but then,
Can we,
I'm sorry.
and, can you please interpret
Yeah.
before she
Yeah,
responds?
go.
Que se puede
I'm-
abrir.
My bad.
La cuestión es si cierra las. O sea, si está dispuesta a que el alcohol solo se sirva hasta las 12. Yes, I'm open to only serve alcohol until midnight.
Okay, that will be all for me right now. Thank you.
Thank you. Further questions from committee members? Any other questions? If there are no more questions, then we can move on to a motion and discussion. Alder Figueroa Cole.
I'll say move to approve with conditions. And I don't know, do I have to spell the conditions right now, or can we discuss it?
I think it would be helpful if your motion included a
Okay.
proposed
Well,
condition.
you may have to help me with the conditional part, but again, I don't think we need to regulate the hours of operation, but we can, I like the condition to be to stop selling alcohol or whatever language we used before, sales of alcohol by midnight. I think that's what we had used before.
Okay,
Please
so
correct me
I
if I'm
think
wrong.
in the past, we've worded that alcohol sales shall cease
Thank you.
not later than midnight nightly.
That would be great. So that will be my motion with that condition.
Okay.
And I can speak on that whenever.
You go ahead and speak now, and then after you're done, we'll go to Ms. Westra.
All right, so I did look at the other license holders in the area, and nobody has conditions on this on the alcohol sales. But so I was inclined not to put any conditions on it. But at the same time, this is a new business with a new business for the applicant too. So I see no, I think it is. I feel okay putting the condition to have the sales until midnight, and then in 6 months or a year from now, they can come back to us and say, this will benefit our business, and we want to extend the hours of sale later on. I think that would be that would be fine to give them a chance to test the waters, the area, and the business as a whole.
Thank you. Ms. Westra.
Can we add the condition, the MGO one must meet the conditions of a restaurant always?
Okay, so
I'm good with that.
how about this? Ms. Westra, would you like to second the motion?
Yes, I will
Okay.
second the motion.
And now we'll consider it friendly unless there's objection that that's the motion with those two conditions. And we've worded that, that the establishment shall meet the definition of a restaurant as defined in MGO 38.0, and then someone's going to have to help me with the exact reference, but 38.06? Wow, that was fast. 38.05. Attorney McReynolds, is that correct? We can't hear you.
Yep.
Okay.
I was looking at the definitions in 38.02, but I will double check.
No, I think it is 02.
They always say definition of a restaurant 38.02. Is that what you're
Yeah.
asking?
Okay.
Yeah, it's 38.02.
02.
02. Okay, thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Mhm.
So now the motion is to approve with those two conditions. Any discussion, any further discussion? Attorney McReynolds, do you have additional? No. Further discussion? I see no additional, no one's requesting to speak. So is there any objection to the motion to approve with the two conditions? Seeing none, the motion carries. Thank you. Thanks. All right, next on the agenda is SGD Dubu Sogong Dong Tofu and Korean Barbecue, 559 State Street. Do we have a registrant for this one?
Yes.
All right.
Kai Zhang.
Kai Zhang.
Yes, I'm here.
Did you get a chance to talk to the police, the alder in the neighborhood?
Yep, I spoke with them in mid of February.
Okay, great.
Yep.
Now tell us a little about your business and any information you think would be helpful for us to make a decision.
Yeah, so we are a fairly new business that we opened in end of January 2025. So a little over a year now. At first we got a super popular among the students, among the student association, and all the Asian families around the city of Madison, and etc. So at first we generally focus on how to turn the tables as fast as we can. So we didn't think about have any liquor license or sell any beers. But after a year, customers get calm down. They stop lining up for our food. And also we get a lot of customers inquiring about if they sell beers or the Korean. There is a Korean soju, like a Korean liquor. It's a low alcohol content Korean type of liquor. So we start thinking about that. Maybe it would help our business to grow in general.
All right. Thank you. Questions for the applicant? Any questions? So do you plan to be a restaurant? Do you plan to remain a restaurant the entire time you're open, or do you anticipate? Okay, so it'll never become more of a tavern where like most people are drinking.
Oh no.
Okay.
No, we don't have a like a bar area. Our space on State Street is it's very tight. We don't plan to have a bartender or anything. We just serve the drink of beer alongside of the food when customers are dining in. So.
All right. Further questions from committee members? Captain Hartman, did you got a chance to talk to this applicant, or did someone at MPD?
Yes, and we have no concerns.
Thank you. All right. If there are no more questions, then we can go into discussion, motion and discussion.
Move to approve.
A motion to approve by Alder Glenn.
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Clemens. Ms. Wester, do you have a point of discussion?
Yep. Can we just add the restaurant condition?
Sure. Alder Revere.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. As it is in the alcohol overlay district area, I was going to also request that the motion include conditions that the establishment shall meet the definition of a restaurant per section 38.02 of the MGOs at all times, and that food shall be available at all times.
All right.
And just to, if I could just say very quickly, for the applicant, this is nothing related to the application per se. It's all location related, being in the 500 block of State Street. Thank you.
So, mover and the seconder, is there any objection, I guess, by anybody to consider a friendly amendment?
No objection.
Okay. Okay, perfect. So, and do you have the wording down, or should we repeat that? Okay, so everyone knows what the motion is. It's to approve with the standard conditions to remain a restaurant. Ms. Westra, discussion?
Oh, forgot to put my hand down, sorry.
Any further discussion? Alder Verveer.
Yeah, I just wanted to clarify, I suggested two conditions. The second one, that food shall be available at all times, again, given it's in the alcohol overlay district. I didn't hear you say that, Chair.
Thank
The
you.
second condition.
Yep, so the motion as written by the clerk includes two conditions. Correct. Both the remain a restaurant condition and food shall be available condition. So if there's no more discussion, then I'll ask if there's any objection to that motion. And I see none, so then the motion carries. Thank you, Kai.
Okay, thank you.
Moving right along, we are at item number 8 and 9, Amisto, 313 West Johnson Street. Tanya?
Hi, everybody. My name is Tanya. I'm applying for a liquor license for our new upcoming Mexican restaurant. Do you have a question? You've been asking everybody the same questions.
Yep. So you talked to the neighborhood because I was at that meeting.
Mm-hmm.
Did you talk to the police?
I end up calling them and leaving a voicemail, and I hope it gets through, but I didn't speak to police department.
Okay. And did you talk to Alder Verveer about this?
Yeah, I reached
Okay.
out to Elder Verveer as well.
All right, perfect. Go ahead with your testimony.
Yeah, so one more time, my name is Tanya Zikarevich. I'm a restaurateur together with my business partner who's here, Jackie. We own two restaurants, Red and Jackknife, and we would love to add a third restaurant to our portfolio. This time it's going to be a Mexican concept. Similar vibe. The intention is to create similar experience as our restaurant Red offers, more of a fine dining elevated experience, but design forward, beautiful food, ambience experience. We are taking over space that already been a restaurant before. It used to be a restaurant called Estrellón, located at 313 West Johnson Street. That restaurant closed about 4 years ago. We've been looking at that space for a while, and finally time in the line, and we think it's a great opportunity to take over that prime real estate and turn it into something beautiful that our community could enjoy. We're proposing a little bit longer hours of operation. I submitted in my application. We would love to open 7 days a week with offering brunch on the weekends. On the weekdays from Sunday till Thursday to be open until 10 p.m. On the weekends, Friday, Saturday, we would love to be open until midnight. The vision for this restaurant is not to be a nightclub. Together with our liquor license application, we submit entertainment license as well, because we would love to have occasional DJ playing, ambient music during our dinner service, as well as occasional musicians and maybe bands. But again, it's not something that will turn it into a nightclub or dancing. It meant to enhance the dining experience and play during the dining hours of operation. So the space right now, approximately 140-seat restaurant. We don't have an outdoor seating; it's only inside, with beautiful bar kind of in the center. We're doing some modifications to the space, trying to create a different ambience so it doesn't feel like it's a restaurant that failed and closed. Yeah, so that's pretty much about it, and I'm ready for any questions you have.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Questions from committee members? Are there any questions? Captain Hartman. We're having trouble hearing you. We're not hearing it. Can you? No, I can't hear him. Okay. Looks like he's gone. I think he's going to try to reconnect. Alder Figueroa Cole.
Thank you. So I noticed you sent an email changing your hours of operations. So is it okay for me to assume that it is okay for us to put a condition to incorporate those hours on the approval of the license?
Yeah, that is correct. I emailed Jim my updated hours. I hope, I sent a couple emails. So the last one was the one that had the correct hours of operations, and I can list them right now if that's helpful.
Yeah, I have them in front of me. I mean, you can go ahead and.
Sure. It's Sunday Sunday 10 a.m. till 10 p.m., Monday 4 p.m. till 10 p.m., Tuesday 4 p.m. till 10 p.m., Wednesday 4 p.m. till 10 p.m., Thursday 4 p.m. till 10 p.m., Friday 4 p.m. till 12 a.m., and Saturday 10 a.m. till 12 a.m.
And also, I also see in your application that this is a indoor premises only. There's no outdoor service or entertainment.
Yeah, that's correct. There is no outdoor.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
All right. Captain Hartman, you're back.
All right, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, I attempted to try to reach out to Tanya this morning, and unfortunately we weren't able to connect. The only questions that I had, I understand the wanting to put music with the dining experience, and I think it was very well spoken here of the vision and the plan, but I just wanted to make sure, because is this a correct license that they should be applying for? It doesn't open them up to becoming a club or being viewed as one. I'm just questioning that. Is there any concerns on that and the way it's laid out?
I think the committee has the ability to put conditions on both the Class B license and the 21 plus entertainment license to ensure that it doesn't become a nightclub and is consistent with the vision expressed here. Attorney McReynolds.
Thank you, Chair. This location is also within the alcohol overlay district. So I would recommend similar conditions to the one that we had, item 6, which would also help with that concern.
Thank you. Alder Verveer.
Thank you, Chair. I'm traveling right now, so first apologies for the noise in the background and for not having my camera engaged, but because of that, I can't pull up the alcohol overlay map. I thought that the boundary for the alcohol overlay district is the middle of the street of the 300 block of West Johnson, so I don't believe this site actually is in the district. Can someone confirm that? Attorney McReynolds, are you looking at the map in the zoning code? Across the street is definitely in the alcohol overlay district, but I don't believe this block is.
Yeah, I am seeing that now. I guess I assumed it meant the whole street, but the line is in the middle of the street. So, I mean, really, it's not the ALRC's issue, the zoning issue, but they would not be restricted in that way. So, I mean, you could still have those conditions if you wanted, but it's not essential like it would be if they were inside the line.
Yeah. Here, since I'm still unmuted, if you don't mind, I'll just say that I don't believe conditions are necessary in the case of this application for either license. But I'll leave it at that for now. Thank you.
Thank you, Alder Verveer. Any other questions from committee members? So I'm just thinking about the people who live in the Ovation building. I don't have an issue with the concept, but I think there's a point when things could be, this is my question.
Yeah.
You know the space better than I
Yeah,
do, but do you think there's a possibility that it could become loud enough that the people upstairs hear it?
Yeah, and thank you for all these questions, because it's a huge sort of investment of ours into this space to design a very beautiful high-end acoustic AV system, specifically keeping the people who live above or offices above, because I think there are offices above and then apartments above, so there is a whole floor in between us. But the whole point of it is not make this music overwhelming like you hear at the bars or sometimes at the establishments that bring DJs, right? Where the just music is blasting through the speakers and it just creates this obnoxious noise. I really want to create something higher end experience that DJ is still playing in the background and it's part of the ambience and part of the dining experience, and I don't want to turn this into a nightclub. So, Elder Villavere knows, and all of you know, I've dealt with my previous applications for outdoor music. I'm so concerned and respectful to neighbors, and that's not what we're trying to do. It's obviously going to be a different area for us, close to State Street, close to more foot traffic, students. But I think the price point of our restaurant will distract that specific clientele to come to our restaurant and dine at our restaurant. So at least that's not the intent, to create something that will create a noise or drunk clientele. That's not what we're trying to create.
Thank you. Any further questions? Any other questions? If there are no further questions, then a motion would be in order. Alder Figueroa Cole.
So I guess I move to grant with the conditions of the language about remaining in the restaurant and spelling out the hours of operations listed on the addendum that the applicant sent. That is part of the file.
Okay, so would that be then so remain a restaurant and food shall be available? Plus.
And I will use the hours of operations as the restriction for the alcohol sales. That same language that we use for alcohol sales, but then use the schedule that she provided.
Okay. Okay, I understand. So,
and are we talking about these two things combined at the same time, or are we taking entertainment license separately?
Yeah, we're considering both 8 and 9
Okay.
at the same time. So, would you want your? Go ahead.
Yeah, I would like this messaging to be the same on both, right? Because it's
Okay.
kind of gets confusing. So again, cease the sale of alcohol and the music at the scheduled time that was presented by the applicant.
Sorry, I'm having trouble understanding the motion. So you want a condition about shall remain a restaurant, a condition about food
Yep.
shall be available, a condition about alcohol shall cease by the times listed in the email, and then a fourth condition about music?
About the entertainment. So can we just also, since this is going to close at the time anyway, can the entertainment also end? Can we list on the license that the entertainment will end at that time also?
Okay. So I'll state the motion, and I think the way that it will read the best. With the condition 1, that the establishment shall meet the definition of a restaurant as defined in MGO 338.02 at all times. 2, food shall be available at all times. 3, liquor sales shall cease by 10 p.m. Sunday through Thursday, and by 12 a.m. Friday and Saturday. 4, entertainment shall cease by 10 p.m. Sunday through Thursday, and by 12 a.m. Fridays and Saturdays.
Correct. Thank you.
Okay. Alder Glenn.
I was just seconding.
Okay, seconded by Alder Glenn. Discussion. Points of discussion? I'll just state for discussion that I would oppose this motion because it conflicts with the recommendation by the alder of the district, who is, as was just stated, he doesn't, having spoken to this applicant, having formed and having spoken to neighbors about this, and even for myself being in the room during the neighborhood meeting, I agree with Alder Verveer's assessment that these conditions are not needed. So, Alder Figueroa Cole.
Yeah, I'm not going about this from the perspective of the alcohol layout thing. That's irrelevant for me on this motion. The applicant provided times, and I think as a consistency process-driven committee, we need to do a better job about putting the information that the applicants have provided in the applications into the official document, which is the license. So if the applicant comes to us and says, these are my hours of operations, we should, many times we had told before, the application is technically meaningless. It's only important when it's on the document. So I will say that, I'm really trying real hard to be consistent, and I would like to continue to be consistent and continue to reinforce what the application says and what we are granting. So it is not related to me. I'm not really considering the layout at all. Just as a general rule, if the applicant doesn't have a problem with the conditions and that's the hours of operation that they're going to be doing, I just want it on the license language.
Okay, thank you. Further points of discussion? Ms. Westra.
Can you read the hours condition that we're putting on there again? Is it at what time they need to stop serving?
Can you want to?
Yeah, I have down liquor sales shall cease by 10 p.m. Sunday through Thursdays and by 12 a.m. Friday and Saturday. Likewise, entertainment as a fourth condition, entertainment shall cease by 10 p.m. Sunday through Thursdays and 12 a.m. Friday and Saturday.
Okay.
May I ask?
Yeah, because I guess I wanted to make sure that we weren't putting anything in there that would make them have to come back if they wanted to have brunch or expand into the lunch hour or anything like that.
Tanya, did you have something?
Yeah, I guess, I have a question about brunch service, because I would love to have, I've been to so many beautiful restaurants who have a DJ during brunch, and it's beautiful. So I would love to be able to have that possibility. So I don't mind conditions on the license, because you're already being more than generous with me allowing to be open until 12 a.m. I don't want to be open till 1 a.m. I promise you that's not the intent. My only question about the food being available till 12 a.m., it's hard to keep kitchens open until that hour. Like I just right now looked at Lucille's hours of operations, and similar restaurant establishments, they at least have kitchen open until 11 p.m. So it gives people to order food, and at 11, just before kitchen closes, but then linger a little bit longer just to finish drink and finish their food and see. I'm totally fine sees alcohol sales at 12 at midnight or 10 p.m. on the weekdays. I just want to be kind of clear about serving food and kitchen being open all the way until midnight or on those busy nights. So maybe we could clarify that.
Thank you. Well, we can ask our attorney how the conditions would be interpreted.
Sure.
Alder Verveer?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. It's recognition before the applicant just spoke to confirm that she had no objection to the conditions as proposed by Alder Figueroa Cole. I personally appreciate, Chair, your kindness mentioning me in my earlier statement, but I have no objection to the proposed conditions if the applicant does not have concerns. So if I heard her correctly, and again, sorry, I'm traveling and I'm not hearing everything perhaps, but I have no objection to what's proposed. But I appreciate the applicant's concern about food being available at all times. And so perhaps, as you say, Attorney McReynolds could clarify how she would interpret a condition like that.
Thank you. Attorney McReynolds, would you like to add?
Thank you, Chair. So is the question the condition about the food being available at all times, if that would apply for that last hour?
Yes.
I mean, I'm guessing this is what a lot of establishments are dealing with, and I don't know if they have that condition.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's kind of like at our restaurant currently at Red, right? Our kitchen closes at 10 p.m. On the weeknights, but guests have to leave the restaurant by 11 p.m. or our patio has to be cleared by certain hours. So that's what I'm just trying to understand, that grace period after people order food and then what time they actually have to leave.
Yeah. I think the condition of remaining a restaurant at all times would be appropriate without the additional condition of having food available at all times. Because like within that, that last hour, it would still be operating as a restaurant, sort of in the overall picture of things. Yeah, I haven't thought about this much before, but I think it's something that if the committee was really wanting to, you could make it more specific, or you could just use the condition about remaining a restaurant at all times, or all times while open, or however it is phrased.
Thank you. Alder Figueroa Cole.
Yeah, I guess I got a little bit lost about that particular sentence about serving food at all times. So I don't know if that can mingle with the condition of staying, following the restaurant rule. But I'm okay with a motion striking that portion out if it's not part of the statute that states, what the rules are to remain a restaurant.
Thank you. Alder or Ms. Westra. You're muted. Ms. Westra, we didn't hear anything you just said.
Oh, that disappointed me. Mute. It's wonderful. One of the things too is, from experience, I've never seen, especially a restaurant, have food until if they're allowed to serve alcohol till 11, the kitchen closes at 9:30, 10 o'clock, so that they can start working those people out, because it's not, they can't afford to keep the kitchen open just to keep the kitchen open. But the other thing is, we don't actually define in the statutes or anywhere what food is. So it could be like snacks that are able to be provided, that you don't need the kitchen. I know some places do that, to have that there as an option for filler is a bar stack or something to that effect.
Yeah, we'll have chips and salsa.
Yep, that's what I was gonna say. It could be chips or salsa, or you're gonna make your own tortillas. You know, I see that.
Yeah.
So
Do you know, and also in my previous experience applying for liquor license or adjusting hours of operation, we don't know what this restaurant is going to become. You know, it's just right now, I would love to have a wider varieties, not wider range. So then when we are designing this concept after a year of being open, I don't need to come back here and ask for extended hours or longer hours or different conditions. But again, I just looked at similar restaurant concepts and what their hours of operations are, and I just trying to apply for similar. We would like to just be open on Fridays and Saturdays longer. That's all. And,
All right. All right, are there any more, is there any discussion on the motion? Ms. Westra?
can we just clean up that condition a little bit so it's just the MGO and the MGO wording?
All
So
right.
there isn't confusion on that?
Sure. So Ms. Westra moves to amend the motion to strike condition number 2. There's
Second.
seconded by, I didn't see who that was.
Figueroa Cole.
Figueroa Cole. Okay. Is there any objection to making that amendment? Any objection? Seeing none. Now we're back on the main motion to approve with the rest of the conditions. Does anyone want them read again?
I'm good.
Okay. So I believe we're all on the same page. Any objection? Seeing none, motion carries. Thank you.
thank you.
I look forward to. Okay, next on our agenda is item 10, pre-revocation hearing motions, Fusion, 36 South Bassett Street. Is Attorney Zillavi here? I don't see her.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, Attorney McReynolds.
Thank you, Chair. I can message her. She was not planning to attend because no motions were submitted in advance of this meeting.
Okay, so do you think Attorney Delier is here in the room with us? If he has motions, what are your thoughts about considering those without Attorney Zillavi being present?
I don't think that's a good idea. I also don't think that motions at this point would be timely, but you can certainly hear them and decide what you would like to do. But I would wait until Attorney Zillavi is available.
Okay, and you'll message her now then? Okay,
Yep.
so what about considering motions from, we probably shouldn't do anything on this item without her. So
That would be my advice, yes.
can we move on to the next item?
Do we have to refer this or something, or to move it out of the agenda to a future meeting, or
What, okay, no,
or
I
table
don't,
it like?
maybe, we might have to table it, but Attorney McReynolds, your hand is up again.
Oops, sorry about that.
So what do you, would you-
didn't have any motions that I wanted to discuss. I just wanted to point out that there's a speedy trial demand in the criminal case.
I
Okay.
cannot hear the
Let's,
person.
let's just wait. I think we're going to move on to the next one, and we'll come back. Thanks for your patience. Okay. Item 14, operator license application. Oh, and then this one, when did this get added? Okay, so we have Jerome Lovestar Captain Hartman, would you like to give us the background information on this operator license application?
Yeah, so just a real quick, you can hear me okay?
No, you're very quiet.
Any better now or no?
No, it's still a little too quiet.
Sounds like you're using the wrong mic. If you click the little up arrow next to the
I'm going to
audio.
allow you to yell at me today, Captain Kitten. Go ahead. Yell at us.
Yeah, I'm not sure what is up with my microphone. Is this going to be doable, or do you want me to try to come back on?
We can.
I mean, that was okay. That tone right there, I feel.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, I'll do my best to speak loud. So there is 3 things of concern. 2 were disclosed to us. The first one being a 4th-degree sexual assault, which occurred in Verona PD's jurisdiction in 2020. And that was in November of 2020. And a conviction in 2022. One that was not disclosed was in December of 2022. That was a first offense OWI. It was after a vehicle crash where Madison PD officers came upon the crash and made the arrest of Jerome, and the conviction in March of 2023. And the final one was a disorderly conduct, Madison PD, and that was August of 2024 with a conviction date in March of 2025.
Okay, thank you. Now, Jerome, would you like to explain the circumstances behind these?
Yes, there's no real explanation for the actions that had occurred. Alcohol was involved with all of them, and it is very clear that that has an effect on the way you make decisions. I do know for a fact that I have taken steps to making sure that those incidences do not occur again. I've sought out counseling, as well as strengthened my relationships with the people around me. I've made valiant efforts into keeping positive individuals around me, and that has been a help. I take full responsibility and accountability for my actions. I do understand that it is not a pretty thing to have happen, and there is preventative measures that can be taken. I'd like to thank you for giving me your time.
Thank you. Questions? Alder Figueroa Cole.
Thank you. So I don't know if you were present at the beginning of the agenda when we have another applicant similar to this application. The committee is required to be able to demonstrate that level of rehabilitation. So do you have any documentation to support your statements?
I can find documentation, yes.
Okay. That's all I have for now. Thank you.
Further questions from committee members? Attorney McReynolds.
Thank you, Chair. Do you have your application with you, or have you been able to look at it recently?
I do not.
Okay. The section that says list all citations, tickets, municipal and ordinance violations, and criminal convictions, excluding parking tickets. That's where you just listed the 2 offenses, the 4th degree sexual assault and the disorderly conduct. Can you tell us why you did not list your OWI and refusal on that section?
I was unclear on certain dates, and I wasn't able to find it on the CCAP when I searched myself up. So I wasn't too sure. I was 100% going to address all 3 of those today.
Okay. um, just one second here. And do you remember that there was part of the application saying that the application need to be filled out accurately and completely?
I do remember that.
And that if you have any doubt as to whether to include facts about an incident, it is recommended that you do disclose that information?
I must have overlooked that aspect. I apologize.
And if you're unsure how to respond, you should check with the city clerk for clarification. Do you remember that part of the application?
Not specifically off the top of my head right now, no.
Okay. So, and I'll talk about this more with the committee, but failing to list an OWI on this application is one of the reasons why it was flagged by the police department, because one of the guidelines for the committee is that applicants must truthfully and completely fill out applications. And so besides your explanation of not knowing specific dates, did you have any other reason that you didn't list the OWI?
I do not. It was an inexcusable mistake. It's very preventable if I had read more carefully.
Okay, thank you. I have nothing further.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Westra. Could you chair this portion of the meeting? Is that something you're able to do?
Yeah.
Okay, because I'm going to recuse. It's a borderline case, but I'm going to recuse from this because I have a personal relationship with the applicant. So thank you.
So let's see where we were. Do we have any questions for the applicant? From the committee. Alder Figueroa.
Thank you. If I were to recommend to refer this to the next meeting, for you to provide specific documentation, would that have a negative impact on your employment or whatever? Can you speak on that? If I ask for you to come back to the committee next month?
That should be fine. That shouldn't interfere in any way.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions for the applicant? Ms. Bell.
This is more of a me learning procedural question. But does the place that someone is employed have any bearing on the validity of their application, or is everything considered independently on the application? Like, considering where he's employed, I'm just wondering what the process is like with that, or if that's not a factor that's considered.
It is not considered the place of employment. Usually people only come forward for a license with a place of employment, but you don't need to have one. Once you get a operator's license, you have it. You can take it anywhere in the city you want. It doesn't just stay at the sponsor of your application.
Okay, thank you.
And Ms. Westra, this is the clerk. We do have, just for your benefit, since you can't see the dais, Ms. Clemens has her hand up.
Okay, Ms. Clemens.
Thank you, Chair, and thank you, Clerk. I had a similar question to Alder Figueroa Cole, just to clarify. You mentioned you could provide us some documentation about to show us your rehabilitation efforts. Just want to clarify because we've deferred past operator license applicants between meetings before, not to waste anybody's time. That could you just speak briefly on what you will be providing to our committees, and so we know what to expect if we do defer this?
I was going to, I went through Uplands Counseling Associates. I don't know if you guys are aware of them. I was going to reach out to my counselor and see if he can't write out a letter of recommendation and provide, the timesheets possibly, or, I attended 8, I want to say, meetings with him. I was only mandated for like 1 or 2. I just felt like it was a productive extracurricular that I could have done to help better myself. And I would have no problem being able to pull up any documentation, like proving that I took those steps.
Okay, no other questions for me at this moment. Chair, thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other questions for the applicant? Seeing none, are there any questions for staff? Attorney McReynolds.
Thank you, Chair. This is the same thing that I say every time we have someone who does not put all of the offenses on their application. If you have it in front of you, guideline 5 says that applicants must truthfully and completely fill out applications. If an applicant provides false information on an application, that application shall be denied, and the applicant shall not be eligible to reapply for a period of 1 year. The committee can determine if the information was intentionally omitted from the application or if it was omitted due to inadvertence, mistake, or excusable neglect. Then you can accept the corrected application and recommend granting the license if the person is otherwise qualified. Since I expect this to be referred, I don't think that you need to decide this now unless this would be a disqualifying factor for you. But if you look at the application, it cannot be clearer that you have to list everything except for parking tickets. And it's interesting to me that this keeps happening when it's just very, very clear, and it says if you don't understand, ask. And the applicant also said himself that it was inexcusable neglect. So, take that information however you would like. That is what is in guideline 5. And I can answer other questions if you have them. Thank you.
Thank you. Committee, what would you like to do? Alder Cole.
Yeah, I like to move to refer this to the next meeting and have the applicant submit letters of recommendations or any kind of training class program that he had that is relevant to show his rehabilitation from the offense to current time.
Alder Glenn?
Sorry, I forgot that you can't really see what I'm I was seconding it.
Okay, so we have a second. Ms. Farley.
I was gonna second, so we're good.
So we have a motion for referral and a second. Do we have any discussion? Alder Glenn.
I just think for the record, I just want to have it on record. I understand about the application process, just from years of experience of working with people who have been directly impacted by incarceration, that most people don't list their sex offenses and try to hide a drunk driving. So I just don't feel like that it was. I understand what attorney is saying, and I think that people need to pay attention and read the fine print and fill out applications, but I just think it's needs to be stated that I just don't think it was intentional. So I just wanted that on the record. Thanks.
Thank you.
Alder Cole.
And I would like to add that the reasoning presented has been presented multiple times, so perhaps we need to look at the form and figure out a way to use simpler language to explain what we're expecting of people, which is this wasn't on CCAP. So, and I know that based on all the discussions, these things are not on CCAP. So how do people, and I know that I talked to Attorney Reynolds before on how to access that information, and you know, don't have the life experience to know or to understand that process, but it seems to me that perhaps we need to be more clear on where did you go to look for your own background check, and also be clear on, I mean, if there's a cost associated with that, what is the burden, all of those little things that question signifies to me. So I'm definitely willing to continue to work on improving our processes and really tackle that particular question, which I know is important, but I don't think, you know, I agree. I don't think this is often comes as an intentional thing. I think we need to be more clear. You need to put your information here, and we're going to verify that. MPD is going to verify that against your wording. I do have an issue with that question, but I also come from the issue from the other side of the equation. So we have time to discuss this. We'll continue the conversation, but I don't want to, Amber, feel like we are ignoring your feedback. And I agree that this comes all the time and seems like often the reasoning behind is the same. So I think we should perhaps look at the way that we are formulating the question also. Thank you.
Committee, any other discussion?
Ms. Westra, Ms. Clemens does have her hand up.
Okay, Ms. Clemens.
Thank you, teammates. Again, just a note, as we're looking for substantial and credible evidence of rehabilitation, a note for the applicant, if it's preferred that those types of letters and documentation come on letterhead. And I think the more you're able to gather, that would help us see the full picture of the rehabilitation that you're attesting to. I think that would be really helpful. I think what we have as of today is certainly not sufficient. So I support, not approving this today. And I hope that we have, a lot more to consider and to weigh when we discuss this next month. Thank you. That's it, Chair.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Seeing none, the motion on the floor is for referral to the next meeting of the ALRC. Are there any objections to referral? Seeing none, this item is referred to the next meeting of the ALRC. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for handling that on the fly. Next, we will discuss item number 10, consideration of pre-revocation hearing motions. Attorney Zillavy is with us. So, Attorney Delier, what would you like to discuss?
I didn't have a motion per se, but I wanted to point out that there is a speedy trial demand in the underlying criminal case that is scheduled for April 27th, 28th, and 29th. And I think that would provide most of the answer, if not all the answer, to the issues. And I would think it probably would be a better use of everyone's time to just wait until that trial is over. I don't know if that works for the committee, but I think that it's just a better use of your time.
Okay, but it sounds like you're not asking for it to be delayed. You're just suggesting that we think about that.
Well, suggesting, it just seems like a better plan.
Mike?
Attorney Zillavy?
I was just saying we would just send the meeting picture for you.
Someone's not muted who should be muted. Okay, Attorney Zillavy?
I would like the hearing to proceed on the 27th. The outcome of the criminal trial is not necessarily indicative of anything in terms of what the ALRC may do with the evidence that they hear.
Okay, thank you. Are there any motions by committee members?
I'm sorry, what is the expectation here? We don't have
There's a couple things that, and I'm pulling it up here. I'm sorry, I'm
Thank you.
not more prepared, but there's a couple motions that I think could be made by committee members regarding the conduct of the hearing set to be next week. Namely, so I was gonna try to just make sure I'm not missing anything, but there's the motion to hold the hearing in front of the full committee. I wanted to give people an opportunity to make that motion if you're interested in making that motion. We can't change the scheduling of it, so if such a motion is made and adopted, then we would have to have it on Friday of next week, but it's up to the committee's discretion of whether to hold the hearing in front of the subcommittee that we designated or in front of the full committee. Okay.
I'm confused. So we have a hearing scheduled for next Friday, and everyone can come to the hearing, right? I mean, that we're not preventing that from happening. So voting on presenting to the whole committee means what? The whole committee participates in the hearing, or what are we voting on?
Yeah, so without the motion, then it'll just be the three of us who are on the hearing subcommittee who will hear the evidence. I mean, it's going to be an open meeting, so anyone in the world can join us. But only the three of us will participate in the meeting and the deliberations and so forth.
Was there an ask? I'm sorry, one more question. Was there an ask to be for the full committee?
No, I'm not
Have you
asking that.
authorized it? Okay.
Attorney McReynolds?
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, that's what I was going to point out, that neither party made that motion or that request to be heard by the full committee.
Thank you. Ms. Westra?
So we're handling this item under item 19, correct? For approving the rules for the quasi judicial hearing, correct?
We're under item 10, yeah. So-
10. Yeah, sorry. No,
Okay.
that was, consideration of pre-revoking hearing motion. We don't have any documented pre-revoking motions. The only one we have is an ask from the attorney of the ask for the attorney to have us postpone this hearing until after the criminal trial. So on that motion, I would like to move that we deny that motion and continue with our date of next Friday for the scheduled hearing.
Okay, I have no problem with that, but he did say it's not a motion, so I don't have any issue with taking a vote on that. Does anyone else have any objection to that? Okay, so now the question before the committee is, shall the motion to postpone be denied? Alder Verveer.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. As I mentioned at our last meeting, please let the record show that I am recusing myself from this disciplinary proceeding.
Thank you.
And just to remind folks, it's because the respondent and I have had ex parte communication with the place premises in the Aldermanic district I represent. Thank you.
Ms. Clemens.
I'd just like to second Ms. Westra's motion.
Okay. So the question is, shall the scheduling request be denied? Is there any objection to recording a unanimous vote in favor, a unanimous yes vote on this motion? Seeing none, motion carries. Thank you. Well, we are done with this item. Moving on, we have report of the Madison Police Department.
All right, one more time. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Thank you, Chair. The only issue that we've been dealing with so far, as of recent, is Cielo at 118 State Street. We've been getting noise complaints from the neighbors due to loud music coming from the DJ. We have been working with both Attorney Zillavi, Alder Revere has been involved, as well as the Madison Police Department, and looking for some solutions in getting this corrected. We have offered some suggestions to the business and their operations to see if they can curb the complaints. So far, I think we are still in the process of dealing with that and trying to get them to come to an agreement of what we can do for everybody to get along there. That's the only major one that's kind of sticking up right now as far as complaints go. I believe their operating licenses is coming up here in the summer of 2026. So that might be something that could land on the agenda at some point. But again, right now we're making efforts to resolve the situation. And that is all I have to report out.
Thank you. Questions for Captain Hartman? Seeing none. Thank you. Moving on, report of the, we have item 12, review and approve ALRC hearing procedures. Attorney McReynolds.
Thank you, Chair. I presented this at the last meeting, and invited anyone with feedback to contact me, and I did not get any feedback.
Thank you. I think you said last time we don't need to do anything, but have you changed your mind? Do you want a motion to adopt this?
I think it's the most transparent that the ALRC consider adopting or approving these procedures, because then it becomes part of the official procedures that committees are required to keep on file at the clerk's office. So it makes it more visible or more obvious for people that are not right here. So for anyone coming before the ALRC.
All right. Thank you. Alder Figueroa Cole.
Yes, I think we had an extensive conversation on this topic last time, and we covered everything all the way. I mean, my only concern was really how to make this, where to store this document. And I'm going to echo what Amber just said. We definitely need to put this document in a place where it's accessible to the public and to future committee members. So I like to move that the ARC committee adopts the hearing process as stated on the legislative item, and for this documentation then to be saved or documented as part of the clerk's documents.
Okay, so motion to adopt by Figueroa Cole. Second by Alder Glenn. Any objection or discussion? Alder Figueroa Cole.
I really want to say thank you to Amber for putting this together and for having the willingness to have the back and forth and all the background that she did on before she formulated the process. So thank you. We really, really appreciate you.
You're welcome.
All right. Any objection to the motion? Seeing none, motion carries. Next on our agenda is item 13, report of the city clerk's office.
Nothing profound. I would just say peruse the legislative file at your leisure. No big items.
Excellent. Questions? Taylor, you'll be the clerk in this committee going forward?
No, I'm just stepping in for Jim, who has another obligation tonight.
Oh, okay. Thanks for that clarification. Next item is 15, second request to extend license issuance beyond the 180-day limit under MGO 3805. Do you have a registrant?
We do. We have a Robert Chip Cruz.
Okay, Robert, can you hear us?
Be *6 to unmute.
We can't hear you if you're talking.
Hello?
Okay,
Hello?
now we can.
Apologies for the disconnect there.
So you can tell us what's your relationship to the business, and then whatever information about your request to extend the license issuance would help us make a good decision.
Yes, and I appreciate the time and for having me on this forum again. My relationship is I am one of the owners of Rotunda Cafe, located at 1965 Atwood Avenue. For the primary reason for my request for an extension, I could be very wordy and I don't want to take up too much of your time. but we are in a position due to the chain of events, that have transpired largely from we applied for this license, somewhere around a year ago. We were granted an extension, which is predicated on simply when after approval, I thought the last step in the process, and it may be my own ignorance, but I came to the city to essentially presumptively give $10,000 to then pay for this liquor license and do our due diligence henceforth after that. At that point, we were instructed that even though we had already gotten approval from everywhere unanimously, apparently there was an issue with the fire department, and the fire department then said we need to do another inspection. Upon the inspection, the fire inspector informed us that due to whatever, Bill never got a really great reason for this question, which was seeing as though we were operating the way we are effectively inside Lake Ridge Bank, which is a much larger space. So we occupy a roughly 2,000 square foot space. Due to the square footage and because of some more recent zoning since the building had been built in 1923, that this would require a sprinkler system to be put inside this building. I do want to also preface this next part with, I am a renter and owner of a small business inside a very large building. And I simply stated at the time that I applied for a liquor license because we wanted to further our business and we wanted to, we had things that we had intended to do. Never had any point that we certainly intend to buy the building, or we don't have the ability to make any, amendments or do anything structurally per our lease to this building. We were in a 5-year lease. The fire department did come back. We had a meeting with the owner of the building and also one of the occupants, which is Lake Ridge Bank. And, we're trying to put our heads together, and it kind of just turned into a, well, sorry, this is the way it is. You have to do a sprinkler system. I don't think I need to really illustrate the cost or what that would do. I was very forthright.
If you could
this
just
will
wrap it up.
effectively put me out of business. Okay. Yeah. I'm in a position to where I'm not able to put a sprinkler system in a building that I do not own. And every other faction that I've gone to says, yeah, it doesn't really make sense. I know there's people who I'm speaking to right now who've been in the building, had a great time. They said, yeah, this doesn't really make a whole lot of sense. I'm requesting help because I'm in a position to where if I have to put a sprinkler system in, I'm going to be put out of business. And I just don't believe, it doesn't seem very Madison to me. It doesn't seem like that's anyone's goal. But my goal is to try to extend this because everywhere I turn, I'm facing being put out of business. So I'm asking for help today. Thank you.
All right. Any question? And sorry, I should have been more clear. You were on a 3-minute timer, the same one everyone gets, and the timer went off. So I'm sorry to sound rude there.
No, I'm sorry.
So any questions for the applicant? Ms. Westra.
I would like to move to extend this beyond the 180-day license period.
Sure. Motion by Ms. Westra. Is there a second? Ms. Farley? Is that a
I'll second.
Second. Moved by Westra, seconded by Farley. Discussion? Attorney McReynolds?
Thank you, Chair. I'm sorry I didn't get to this before. Is it okay if I ask the applicant a question?
Yeah.
So for the applicant, I understand this is under a motion to give an extension, but even if you get an extension, do you think that's going to help you? Or are you asking for something else?
Valid question. I am trying to explore every avenue that is apparently available to me to try to find a way. At the end of the day, we're talking about 500 square feet at my cafe, a variance of 500 square feet that my cafe simply does not occupy. I have been talking to so many people being like, what can we do about this? How can we, I mean, and everyone seems to kind of, the general consensus seems to be like, well, you know, maybe there's a way to, for instance, what I'm waiting on right now is I talked to an architect that says, well, if we're talking 500 square feet, considering that this is a bank, there is a 500 square foot completely fireproof wall surrounding the vault. You know, if I was able to get approval from the fire department to take that into consideration, I do believe that would put us in the threshold, because we meet every other single requirement. And I do need to point out that zoning didn't have an issue. Doesn't think that this is an issue, that building inspection doesn't seem this is an issue. We meet every other single requirement per the law and for our ability. So I do believe that yes, or the other option is, this is what I'm looking at. If a sprinkler system has to go in, my landlord could kick me out, so then I have no business. So that would be great. Or I may have to try to get out of my lease and then go to a different city and give them money to put a coffee shop that's able to serve some alcohol there. So those are my options that I currently see, and I don't want it to be plain-sighted. But again, I don't know what to do, and I'm asking for help, because I don't want to say I'm exhausted, but it does seem almost insurmountable to be able to make this happen per your requirements.
Okay, so I just wanted to clarify that this this committee can't give you probably the help that you are looking for. Like they can't override like an order from the fire department, for example. But if an extension is something that would help you at least explore more options and look into, you know, ideas of what to do, then I understand the request for an extension. I just wanted to make sure that you and the committee were fully aware that like all they can do here is give you an extension. That's
Correct.
all. Thank you, Chair.
And
We can't hear you if you're talking.
Yeah, well, you sounded like you were cut off while you were in the middle of saying something. Robert.
Oh, apologies. No, I fully understand that. And I thank you for all your time. I've appeared in front of your board a few times. You've been wonderful to me, my business, my neighborhood, everything. And this is, if you were to grant this extension to me, I do believe it is the only lifeline of a necessary component, which is time, and whether it's your department or not, dare I say reasons. Because I don't believe that the fire department wants to put us out of business, but their decision absolutely is going to put me out of business. So I do need time to, even if it's to push this down the line or pursue leaving the city of Madison or to lay people off. I don't know what to do, but I do need more time from this board, and that's all that I'm asking for.
Alder Figueroa Cole.
I just had a question for staff, and I don't want to, I may be able to ask it on the side, but I think this is the first time that an extension is presented, or at least that I can remember, since I am a member of the committee. So I was wondering if Amber can just, or the chair can summarize the extension process so I can connect the dots. I'm not against it. I think I will vote in favor of this, but process-wise, can someone explain to me how the extensions work?
Yeah, I can start, and then I think Attorney McReynolds might might want to fill in, but there's an ordinance, I think, that says after your license is approved, then you have to have it issued within a certain amount of time. But occasionally people will run into issues like what sounds like that's happening here, and they're about to miss that deadline, so we can grant this extension that's being requested now. It's typically throughout the entire 4 years that I've been on this committee, these requests have been extremely routine and have been approved every single time without debate. So if anyone would like to add anything, Attorney
How
McReynolds.
does that relate to the $10,000 provisional licenses? I always get confused on that part. When does that $10,000 comes into play? Like, are we taking someone else's spot?
Attorney McReynolds.
Thank you, Chair. Yeah, the timing that the chair was referring to is 180 days. And it does, in a way, deal with, sorry, I'm just looking this up. The numbers that you see from the clerk's office. So for example, if we went back to that, there's a certain number of licenses that can be issued at the lower rate, and then at some point it turns to the 10,000. So there is, an element of that, that like, if you are issuing a license, then it should be being used. Otherwise, it should kind of go back into the pool of available licenses. I think that's the theory. And a lot of times these go through on the consent agenda, maybe once or twice. I don't know what the clerk's office practice is, but then when it gets to this point, it's because they've asked for multiple extensions. That's why we almost never see them get to this point.
Okay. Thank you for the clarification. Appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
And if you recall, last month, Jim was telling us that we have a lot more licenses due to our population growth available. Was that right?
Yeah, we have like 101 reserve licenses left. Last I checked, so that shouldn't be a problem.
Thank you.
So it was moved and seconded to approve. Any further discussion or questions? Seeing none, any objection? Seeing no objection, motion carries. Well, thank you, Robert. Thank you, everyone. Before we adjourn.
Thank you. Thank you.
I just like to say, just tell everyone that this will be my last full meeting, my last meeting of the full Alcohol License Review Committee. I'll be at the hearing next week. But I've been on the committee for 4 years, the chair for the past year roughly, and I've enjoyed my time here. I've enjoyed working with everyone. But now I must go. And so there's an old saying, you can change the spokes, but the wheel keeps turning. So I know that'll happen. Is there a motion to adjourn?
Wait.
Thank you for your service.
I was just gonna say, yeah, we don't get to say anything, Colin. What? I just want to say it's been a pleasure to work with you. Your perspective has been awesome as I've been learning, and as much as you've done. I've only been here, less than a year, and so you'll be missed because that perspective has been awesome of really understanding a demographic and that is important to this committee. So just want to say thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for everything, Colin.
Okay, then. So I guess I'll say move to adjourn.
Alder Revere is seeking recognition.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. I would like to formally move that we adjourn in honor of the public service of our chair and say personally, I'm going to miss you very much in this venue, but I'm proud that you're my county board supervisor, and we'll continue to work together often. I know.
Absolutely.
Thanks for everything, Colin. You've been great.
Thank you.
Second.
So moved by Figueroa Cole. I think there's a second. Any debate? Seeing none, we're adjourned. Any objection? We're adjourned. Good night, everyone.
Have a good night.
Good night.